What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is going to be my first real review in a while. Haven't really talked about many of them. I've definitely bought some new ones since I last did a review. Honestly, I don't even know what my last review would have been, but today is going to be a very exciting review. This is going to be the Baitcaster that really got me into bait casting, essentially. And I've been wanting to do it for a very long time, actually learn the process and everything, and this will be the first Baitcaster featured in this channel, but I have not done a review since August 2nd, and that was on just like a generic combo. This is the Daiwa Tatula TWS, or if you want to call it the SVTW. It is fantastic in every single way. Now this comes in two different gear ratios. This is the 8:1:1. There's also a 6:3:1. I wanted the faster option, and it retails for $210, depending on when you're actually going to get it. We'll get a couple of details out of the way first. The max drag on this guy is going to be 13.2 pounds. The real weight is just a little over 7 ounces. Line capacity, at 14 pounds, you're looking at 100 yards. The recovery is 34.6 inches per turn, and then the ball bearings has 7+1. Now, if you Google best beginner baitcasters like I did, you will get a lot of the same answers of don't cheap out, buy a good one, learn on it, use heavy line, don't use, don't use fluorocarbon for testing, use cheap mono. Now, I wanted a braided setup, and I have another baitcaster. It is a Lose Team Black Speed edition. I think it's somewhere sitting over there. I don't feel like going to grab it. That was my first combo, and I was terrible, and I just kept bird's nesting, and I just wasn't enjoying it. And essentially, since I'm doing, obviously, fishing videos on this channel now, like actual recorded GoPro adventures and stuff like that, I wanted to get to a point where I could use a baitcaster for my videos, and I wasn't spending my entire time just learning this, taking away from recording, trying to learn how to use a GoPro, trying to kayak, all this stuff. I wanted to try and get comfortable with this as best I could. And I was between two options: the Shimano SLX DC or the Curado, either one of those two, which are digitally controlled or have digital brakes inside of them, basically making it, and when I say extremely hard, it is not impossible on this model or the DCs or anything like that to backlash or to bird's nest, but it's really hard to do. I've been using this for a couple weeks now. I have never once backlashed. I had a little. I literally pulled once, and that was it. That's it. Terrible casting. I've thrown it up against the wall, like the lure up against the wall. Nothing. Plus, look at that purple. That is a sharp-looking reel. I was really hoping it would have the spider tarantula on the side of it, but it does not. But essentially, this reel right here, the Daiwa Tatula, specifically SVTW, is the one I went with. Now, I watched tons of videos, went to tons of people, and a lot of people were saying, rather than just do the DC reel, that I should try this for my first one. And the thing is, since it doesn't have a digital brake, it actually has a specialized spool mechanism that can actually keep it rotating so you're not backlashing as much. It doesn't have a digital brake inside of it, but that means this is going to be a little bit closer to a traditional baitcaster and to teach you a little bit more of the ins and outs rather than relying on a digital controlled system to actually stop it. So a lot of people were saying DCs are best for beginners. However, this, just slightly less great for beginners, but better for intermediate to better use out of that. That's kind of why I went with this. Then there was a huge sale on it, so I figured that would be my best time. But it's a very sharp reel. Mine's obviously a little bit dirty from bass fishing with it a little bit. Caught my very first fish on a Great Lake with this. It was pretty cool. I'm using Superline, Suffolk's main Superline braid. That is my favorite. I have the bright green, and then I do have a little leader here just to kind of show you the system. Now, the knot is obviously a little terrible. I kind of just tied it on here for the sake of this video, but I want to show you another thing that makes this system really cool. Right here is a T-wing. Rather than your line just going through a little little line holder, I guess is the best way to put it, but a little tube that goes back and forth. This right here is a T-wing, so it actually bounces back and forth, and it has one clear path. That way, when it goes up, you have this little path right here, and it's amazing. It really helps for casting. It helps with backlash. It helps with bird's nest. It helps with everything. So that little T-wing from Daiwa right there is a huge deal, and it's fantastic. I love it. Feels amazing. Casts amazing. You can cast, like I always say, a country mile with this thing. It is wicked good. I think I have a little scratch on it already. That's unfortunate. Like Erie, you know, gotta beat it up on some rocks. That being said, I am incredibly happy that this was my first baitcaster. Between the T-wing, between that system, the spool, it's an amazing reel. And I would definitely recommend you watch some videos on this versus the DC model. I would still debating, not anytime soon, but in the future, getting a Corrado or an SLX DC, or, God forbid, a Scorpion. And check out the Shimano Scorpion DC. That thing's awesome. I would love one of those models to kind of like compare and contrast, and to just have another really nice baitcaster in my arsenal. And like I said, it does come in 2 different gear ratios. I was looking for the faster of the 2, so this worked out perfect for me. I don't have a box. I actually bought their display model that was in a glass case because of the price and stuff like that. Otherwise, I would like have the box in the background and stuff. So I'm hoping this camera angle is okay. I'm having lighting issues in here. I think my tripod's just having some issues. So it's a little bit tough to get this perfect, but I love it. This is, in my opinion, the best option that was for me for a beginner's baitcaster. It has sincerely helped me become a better angler with this, and it's amazing. I've been okay with lighter baits. I've been okay with heavier baits. I've frogged with this. It's awesome. Now, I have this paired with a Daiwa Tatula medium heavy casting rod, XT edition, I believe it is. And it matches this perfectly, color and everything. And it's awesome. I'm going to do a separate review on Daiwa Tatula rods eventually as well, because I every day use one of their spinning rods, and then now I have the matching casting rod, and they're insane. Like, for $100, they are fantastic rods that really punch above their weight in their price, and it's just awesome. So the Daiwa Tatula setup is, it's extremely popular. But even when I talk to some of the guys like Cabela's and fellow anglers, it feels like it's really in the shadow of like the DC reels. And yes, of course, this doesn't make that wicked sound when you do it, but it's an awesome reel, and it genuinely has made me get into bait casting way faster than I think I would have without it. And it is awesome. And like I said, if you're going to learn, don't use expensive line to learn on. Don't. I don't care if it's a DC. I don't care if it's the SVTW or what it is. Use heavier mono, and then you're good. That is pretty much your best way to do it. Now, this is a little bit of a line to paint a line, just because there's no holes in the actual spool, so you have to like wrap it around. I actually use a thin little piece of tape to clamp it down, tie it that way. There's a couple of really good videos on YouTube for that. So if you're having trouble lining it like I was, there are videos out there, but it's amazing. Like I said, this is the Daiwa Tatula TWS or SVTW. It retails for $210 and does go on sale. I actually picked this up for $150, which is beyond an amazing deal on this, and Cabela's was very helpful with getting it sorted. So definitely keep an eye out as the holidays are approaching. This is a reel that does go on sale, and especially if you're learning to use a baitcaster, looking to do so, or you just want an awesome, really nice looking, very reliable Daiwa baitcaster, this is a perfect option. But yeah, check out all of the other Daiwa Tatula stuff as well. You know, it's Daiwa. You say Daiwa or Shimano, nobody's really going to blink an eye at any of those products because they're amazing. And yes, don't make fun of my leader knot. It is mainly for this presentation. I just kind of wanted to, you know, keep that little line where I could see it, make it a little easier for me with that bigger loop. But thank you guys so much for joining me for another reel review. These always do really, really well, so I do appreciate it. With you guys, let me know in the comment section below if you have this reel and what you think. Other really good baitcasters for beginners, anything like that. Definitely appreciate it, and I'll see you next time. Tight lines, everybody.